All right, hello everyone. I'm just gonna look at myself in the mirror and check my lip is done because I am today going to be talking about being in your goddess energy, being in your feminine energy. Now, when I think about like why I want to talk about being in feminine energy and why it is important for women to be talking about stepping into their truest feminine energy is because honestly, I've seen a lot of female and my female friends and everyone like really dimming their light to sort of like fit into the society, trying to explain themselves and like not feeling confident in being their true women's self. And I feel like it is now time to reclaim our powers back as true female goddesses. So, like always, Upama has her notes and you can see I'm pretty excited about this one. So what is a goddess energy? A goddess energy basically, or being a goddess, is this archetypal energy that is within all of us women. I always think of goddess energy as not something that you stepping into a goddess. You already are a goddess. You just have to remember that you're a goddess and you have to return to that ancient knowing of our true essence, basically. Goddess energy can be about like, of course, dressing up in a, I don't know, goddessy way. What do goddesses wear? Like this nice, beautiful silk woven sari, perhaps. That would be like a South Asian goddess. And then again, the Greek goddess would wear like these amazing, like these robes, like with these curly little, like, I don't know, like I just put some Troy goddesses, like pictures over here. Yes, of course, it is embodying all of that, but also it is about your true, what it is about your true inner raw power. It's about like accepting you're not just one personality. Yeah. So let's talk about that next. How the goddess got interrupted here. We're forgiving. Being dynamic. We're not just, as women, we're not just one type of a person. We're not. We are friggin' dynamic. What do I mean by that? Sometimes we are this like giddy little girl who just wants to go out and play, and then sometimes you're like this motherly, nurturing, sort of like that motherly archetype comes out of you, and then sometimes you're just fucking, I don't know, you live it. Your anger is sacred. All of these emotions of happiness, of joys, of tears, of anger, of frustration, your rage. We talk a lot about in the goddess energy quantum field, we talk a lot about sacred rage and like these rage rituals and how to be in your goddess energy. To honor your goddess energy is also to actually honor all of this dynamism, that you are so dynamic. You're not one type only. Sometimes like ask yourself, like, how many times have you been, as a woman, especially I think as a Nepali woman also, how many times we've always been asked to like dim our lights. We've always asked like, oh shush, oh you don't speak, just because you're a female. So that is when your goddess is being shunned. And in a modern day, as a modern day woman, Nepali or not, you need to never forget your royal heritage of being a goddess. As women, we are beyond being dynamic. We are this nurturer and all of these archetypes that we talk about in the Wiccan. Sorry, I'm bringing this little Wiccan wisdom here of being the maiden, the mother, and the crone. If you look at the life of a woman, she grows up from being this like, she's a maid, she is learning, and she is so curious about the world around her. She's building her own world and her own dreams and like her own passion play. And then she steps into the role of a mother while she's collecting that wisdom, while she's passion playing. She becomes a mother, she becomes a nurturer, she becomes a creator, a creatrix, and then she becomes this crone, this wise old as she ages down. Women really are the backbone, sort of like this foundation of a family, of society, of a community. So, never let anyone anyone ever dim your light. So this is my personal message to all the women out there, to people who are watching this, to women who are watching this, that you are a goddess. A goddess does not, she never bows down. She knows her freaking worth whenever it comes to any relationships. And what is one more important thing about being a goddess? Being in a goddess energy or true feminine energy, true feminine power. What is your true feminine power? Is embodiment, is your intuition, and boundaries, setting boundaries. Women, let me tell you this if you haven't heard this already. Healthy boundaries, which is so important for you to maintain your radiance. If you think about it, in a relationship, you see that the men in the relationship are doing a lot better in their life. Once they have their girlfriend, once they have their wives, and once they have, their partners with them. Because women really nurture. That is the power that we have. You willingly or unwillingly, knowingly or passively or actively, we just naturally have that ability to nurture the men in our life, the sisters in our life. So especially you can see in relationship, if you haven't like noticed that already, is that women just inherently have that like very nurturing qualities that the men are then suddenly starting to glow. Their businesses are doing phenomenal. There is that energetic sort of dance that goes on when that relationship forms between a man and a woman, that the woman really naturally has that like motherly and like nurturing instinct, that she's going to be that backbone and that support that the man really needed. So just to trying to tell you that how women are, we already have that magical power. And it truly is, Matt, you believe in your magic or not, you're going to believe it for this episode. Okay. Thank you. So you are in your magic, so do not let anyone dim your light. Okay. It's such a personal, touchy message for myself as well, because we talk a lot about that in my coven of girls, in my coven of women friends, is that maybe in previous generations, we've seen how the women had to hush and how the women had to just, they were the second inferior sort of choices. But honey, things are changing. Okay, you look at your mirror, open your mirror, and you look at yourself and you flick your hair and you look at your beautiful golden earring and you look at your amazing, gorgeous makeup that you've put on, and you tell yourself, you affirmate to yourself that I am a goddess. Yeah, I'm a goddess. A goddess is also Goddess Lakshmi. A goddess is also Goddess Saraswati. But a goddess is also Ma Kali. A goddess is also Ma Durga. So there's a sweet, subtle, serene sort of like vibe to all of these, these like Lakshmi and Saraswati. But again, you look at Ma Durga and you look at Ma Kali, like literally, So that is dynamism again. That is being dynamic. Is that we're sweet, we're loving, we're all rainbows and flowers and unicorns and perfumes and roses, but also we're thunder. But also we are wrath, but also we are this, I'm going to serve you justice, So do not fear next time to be able to express your emotions. Your emotions are very sacred. The way your body is speaking to you, the signs that your body be. Always remember as women that your womb, man, the man, it comes from like literally a body that holds the womb. Womb is where our wisdom is. Now that is a powerful, powerful, powerful thing. So never forget that you are in your true goddess self. If you needed an affirmation today, then you take it from me. You are a goddess. You are so radiant. You sit on your throne, and you do not need to conform. You do not need to conform to what society thinks is perfect, because you make your own definition of your true feminine power. You make your own definition of which goddess you are. You're your own goddess, because in the end, all divinity and all God lives within yourself. So modern women, modern goddesses, next time, whenever, start from today, this moment, to set healthy boundaries, to set those boundaries, start practicing sacred selfishness if you have to. That is only because the entire world will be better when women start stepping up into their power, when women start returning back into their goddesses. That already lives within all of us. That was forced from our blueprint to be erased and forgotten, because that's how powerful we are. That's how powerful women really are. And no problems to fix. Another feminine, when we talk about feminine energy, we also have to understand feminine wounding. Wounding that not necessarily, we suffered ourselves, but that was passed down to us. For example, the feeling of oh, you're too much. No, baby girl, you're not too much. You are you. You don't apologize for being yourself. You're not too much. Okay, you asking for someone to, do something for you, just don't think for once that am I being too much here? Am I too much? Nah, that's just fucking wounded feminine energy. We don't want that. We don't want that. So stop apologizing for being too much, because I'm saying this because I've seen a lot of that in my friend circle, and even myself. Before I stepped into my 30s, I thought I would always second guess my choices, just because I didn't fit into a friend circle, just because going out on dates and be well, am I his type? I'm no. Now, that is the female wounding that so many of us knowingly and unknowingly carry. But you're lucky that you came across this video today, because you're not too much. You're not never asking for a lot. Your intuition, your zeal to just want to come out and go out and play and dance out into the rain. Go out and want to ask Aladdin to bring his magic carpet and take you all around the world in the 100 and 1,000 and 108 Arabian Nights, or how many ever there were. You're not a lot. You're not too much. You're just here to bring your essence and magique. Remember that. So, I hope you could get something worthwhile from here. I'm really lucky to have a group of very strong and realized women, to call my friends and to call my sisters, to have such a true, heart-led, but also, true essence evoking sort of conversations and topics to discuss about. And I really felt like, as a woman, to my fellow women out there, that, man, it's really time to reclaim our wombs, the wisdom of our wombs, and to really reclaim our beauty and our essence and our radiance and our sensuality and our, when you are in this blossoming phase, keep blossoming, and also honor all of your phases. Always remember that women are lunar beings. We're not solar beings. Men are solar beings because they always come up on the same time. Luna, if you know Luna, my best friend, the one who comes up in the sky, her, the ancient celestial energy up into the sky, she doesn't always have one phase. Every night, she's a little bit less, she's a little bit more, she's a little bit brighter, she's a little bit darker, she's fuller, she's slimmer, she's a slithering of a tiny crescent, Beautiful. This is how we women are. We are lunar beings, So accept all of that and tell yourself that I am dynamic, just like Luna. If anybody says, why are you this way? You tell them, go outside and look at Luna, and then go outside tomorrow again at nighttime and look at Luna. You see, she's the same face, she is not. I'm the same, but I'm radiant, I glow, And when I'm dark, I am not there, I'm lost. And I like to be lost into the deepest, darkest caves of my own being, So enjoy being a woman. It is such a blessing. It is such a blessing. And every woman walking on earth today are goddesses walking down on earth, you know. So in this like modern day goddess energy, we often forget how to just be a flower. You know, a flower just sits there, she just gets watered and she gets nutrition, she gets taken care of by the gardener or like the owner or whatever, and she just blooms when she wants to. That's what being a woman is, you know. Just, you do not need to feel, I see a lot of that pattern in like modern women as well, that like, oh, you need to compete to a certain level of a certain like, oh, I need to be this, or I need to be earning this much amount of money, or I need to be, you know, already have owned this kind of property, you know. Also, then while you are being a high achieving, or you're a goal-oriented person, which is great, you know, you go make your own empire because you're a fucking goddess. But also, why is there a culture these days where women do not, we think twice, thrice to even be like, oh, I'm sick, I might not be able to go to work today. Oh, I'm sick, I might not be able to go and attend that meeting. Oh, I'm really sick, I don't think I'm going to be able to show up in this party or whatever, you know, that we put our body into so much strain. Our bodies are meant to be relaxing. You know, our as goddesses, we want to relax. Of course, and when you are in a relaxed state, that's where creation comes. That's where productivity comes. And this concept has been completely flipped over, where we're just like constantly asked to be these solar beings, calm, always on schedule. This is this. You don't get to take sick leave. You know, I feel like women are losing their magic and their essence when we go and become a part of this rat race. We're not made for the rat race. You know, we're made to be creators, and to be a creator, to birth something, you need to be in 9 months of gestation. You get that? You get what I'm trying to say? You need to be in 9 months of rest, because you're going to birth out something. What I'm trying to say is, you need to be in a restful state. So that's why women nowadays like are taught to like put your health second. Your health is not important. Your mental state is not important. No. It is the most important. It is crucial for any society to run, to have women, to have a group of women, you know, who are all women, to be in a rested, healthy, mentally happy state. All right, goddesses, I think I got, oh, my heart is like, feels so nice to like be able to have a platform, to be able to send out such messages that is needed to be spoken, and such truth that is needed to be spoken. And of course, you know, this is me, Upama, the co-host of Dalbhat TV. I always like to do TV. And if you didn't already know, I'm this very like cloud9 and fluffy and spiritual and like this rainbow clouds. Like I'm just up there all the time. I'm all there in the Akash all the time. It's very hard for me to stay grounded. But when I am grounded, I come on Dalbhat TV and make episodes like this. So please stay tuned. And let me also not forget to mention, please tune into the Pappy podcast, where I dive deeper with my co-host Himshel on connecting to a goddess and my real life spiritual experience of my spiritual awakening and my initiation. So please go ahead and do that. Thank you so much for tuning in, goddesses. Thank you. Let's do a little shake and a flick. I'm done.